Another month of not sleeping, another trial.
Another trial. And it came to an end yesterday.
It did.
And how did it go?
It was a good verdict.
Yeah? Tell us about it.
It doesn't matter. I always want more, and I'm never satisfied. But the main, I will tell you, the number one emotion that always is with me when I hear a jury verdict is relief.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm not relieved when it's a bad verdict, but the best verdicts that I get, the primary emotion I have is relief.
Okay.
It's not elation. It's not joy. Even the ones that have been just like knock it out of the park, it's been relief.
Is that relief because you feel like you've accomplished, or relief because you were worried that there would be a different outcome?
The latter. Because I haven't really, with the exception of Ride the Ducks, I have not made my career out of trying easy cases. They're all really tough. And I know, lawyers used to say, try your good cases, settle your bad ones. I've had an opposite career. And it could be just because I have trouble, maybe more trouble than other lawyers of getting cases from who I am. And I don't know what it is, or maybe I just look like I want tough cases. But that's what I tend to get, are these really hard ones. And so this lawyer that I tried a case against, and I do want to talk about this lawyer. That's what I want to talk about. I tried to get a case against him 4 years ago now in 2022. And that case was there to be lost the whole time. I had eyewitnesses. It was a motorcycle case. 2 eyewitnesses who didn't actually see the crash saw him half a mile before and said he was going 80 miles an hour in a residential zone. Just so it was a very, very tough case. We got an enormous verdict, but most importantly, the jury found him 5% at fault, which is I can't even imagine it being that low. I never even thought it would be that low, and I was really relieved about that. That was super great. But that was they start off by saying, was a defendant negligent? And you're holding your breath, yes. And then it's like, was a negligence proximate cause? Yes, okay, that sounds good. Then the next question is going to be, how much? Okay, and you're listening to how much, and it doesn't really matter because you're thinking like, is the plaintiff also going to be found to be at fault? So that's what happens in this case yesterday, right? Is the defendant at fault? Yes. Yes. And then you skip to what are the damages? So you really are, those aren't landing with me. I'm just like, well, what's going to happen next? And the next one is, was the plaintiff at fault? Yes. And then you go, crap. and you're just thinking like, okay, what's the next question? Was it proximate cause? Yes. Okay. Dang. Then the next question here was the owner of the bushes, who we don't even know who that is. So basically, were the bushes negligent? No. Okay, well, that's good. Proximate, no. Okay, that's easy. Now you have to go back, and they're going to decide what the percentages are, the liability. And then, what's the percentage? In this case, it was 82%. I'm doing math. I was like, okay, 18%, less than 20. I wish it was lower, but I can live with that. Like, that's not terrible, but I wish it was. That was what I would have thought that was golden in the motorcycle case. We got 5. So I'm like, okay. And then now they're done reading the verdict form, but I hadn't even concentrated on the numbers because I'm just waiting to see, is there going to be a recovery here or not? And then you go back and look at the numbers, and then you got to go do the math. Like, are they going to be okay? And you're like, oh yeah, they're going to be okay. But I'm looking at it really logically and with a certain amount of terror for the client, because this affects them, not us. We're used to losing. They're not something like this. They've never even brought a lawsuit before. So it's not so much emotional, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think it's more like it's a logical thing, and that's why I don't feel the emotion of it.
I think I'm just worried. I think that experience is just idiosyncratic. I think for you it's logic, and for others it may not be, but it makes sense how you think like that. That makes natural sense.
Well, how do you do it?
You're
just, in a civil case, different than, criminal case, pretty much more shorter verdict form. You don't have these long Ride the Ducks took her over half an hour to read it. It's like over an hour.
Well, for me, it's a culmination of like years of work sometimes, or hundreds and thousands of hours of effort, not by one person.
You're thinking that when she's reading?
Well, no.
When she's reading what? Ow, ow. What are you feeling when they're reading the jury verdict? At that moment, don't intellectualize this. Like at that moment, what are you feeling? And I'm feeling this logical thing.
Well, I'm not feeling a logical thing. And I'm just saying to you, I'm describing to you what I'm feeling, but I don't think you like what I'm feeling.
You're not feeling that.
Well, no, but what I'm telling you is exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay, what are you feeling?
But I'm thinking and feeling that, my goodness, this is the moment that, like, this is it. This is the end result. So it's like you're more cohesive, is what you're saying. You're thinking and you're feeling. I'm just thinking. It just depends on the case. Okay. I honestly think it depends on the case. I've had cases where, like, I know that what they're saying, what the jury's saying, is gonna land with the client, and it's very significant for the client.
Like our last case together.
Like Taylor, like Summer Taylor was a case where whether or not Summer Taylor was careless was probably more important question than whether or not
to the family
than it was whether or not the state was responsible. And so, like, in a case like that, like, I'm just looking at the family and listening. So, you know, there are cases where I'm holding my client's hand or holding them as they're reading the verdict, and then I'm thinking, like, my God, I hope I've done everything to the best of my abilities. And I'm thinking that as they're reading the verdict. You know, I think that each case is unique. But you wanted to talk about the defense lawyer. That's why you wanted to talk. What do you want to talk about?
That's a whole other subject.
Okay. But that's the process. The process, I think, is different. I think that, the process is different. It depends on the case. It's a case, you know, this case.
Also, that one was a Zoom. I took it by Zoom. I actually was walking home when it came in. And we took it by Zoom. And the client was in New York by Zoom. I think that also makes a difference when the client is not there. Like, as you know, I hate the jury verdict part. I hate that part. I don't care what case it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever change for me. I hate it. I don't like it when I win, and I don't like it when I lose for them. I just hate it. And so I'm relieved when the client says, well, they can't come because they're in New York. And I'm relieved. Okay, I don't have to go down. I hate going down. Yeah. I hate going down for the last trial. I hate going down for every single trial. And then when I get there, I'm glad I'm there with the client. Like, that's the only thing. I'm glad I'm there for the client, with the client, being there with the client. That's the only reason I go down there.
Why do you hate going down?
I hate listening to what the jury has to say.
Why?
Because I have no control. I have no control. It's completely in their hands. There's nothing I can say or do about it. I can't get them to change their minds.
But isn't that true throughout trial? You don't have a lot of control over some things that happen. What the judge does, what witnesses testify to.
They're just little moments in time.
Okay, but why the verdict?
Because that's what profoundly impacts the client.
Okay.
They don't care that I lost emotion.
How does that impact you?
Well, since I'm not an empathetic, caring person, it only momentarily impacts me.
Momentarily?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. What's the real answer?
Oh, I mean, I hate it.
Okay. That's, I think, is interesting. Why do you hate it?
What do you mean? I hate it. I hate the fact that the jury didn't get it right. I hate the fact that maybe I did something wrong.
Mike?
I hate the fact that the client, trusted us and we let them down.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they are injured no matter what happens, because that's all we represent. And they have now, they're left to their own devices. I hate it. Even when they win, I hate it.
Even when they win, they hate it?
I do initially, because it's over. It's over. It's final. Now what? Like, they are still injured or they're still dead. What did it change? What I take solace in is that what it does positively is it gives value. It's just what I talk about. Like, They need to know that that person didn't die for nothing and that their life was worth crap and nobody cared. So going in there and hearing that somebody cared is the most important thing. It's that validation of why we are in existence, like the validation of this is terrible that happened to you, and we hear you and we see you and we believe you. To me, that's why I like Summer Taylor. Like, I wasn't devastated other than their stupid verdict.
Yeah.
But the finding that they were not at fault was so important. So yes, everything is different, but in general, I hate taking a verdict. I don't like the verdict part of it. It happens, it's done, it's over. Sometimes it's great. Like the last case against this attorney, right? Kick their butt, huge verdict. I mean, it was like 8 figures of interest after 2 years, because he tried to appeal it and lost. And so I love it that it changed the client's life and that they are in a different position, although they have the same terrible injury.
I think what you're like describing to me is that verdicts don't bring closure. They're a step in a process, but they don't bring closure, because closure is something very personal to everyone, every person, including the plaintiff, the defendant, and the lawyers.
I will amend that. It does bring closure to the litigation, which is really important for a plaintiff. Everybody will say, as soon as the case is over, I mean, they don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry about going to court. They don't have to worry about, having to face a jury. They don't have to worry about people sending private eyes after them again. They don't have to worry about what they say to their psychiatrist and the privacy of that, should be a private space. They do not have to think about that. And it's like a giant weight. They always describe it's like a huge weight off of them when a case is finally over. That part is closed. But we go on and we go to our next case. They have to live that life. And because I'm not as empathetic as you, or at least I put it away, I'm able to say that's okay. We did our part, but I can't think about the fact that every day they're going to get up, hopefully, but they're going to face the day with those injuries or those losses. It's overwhelming if you think about it. It would be, for us, if you were to think about, like, how would you illustrate, if you were totally empathetic and thought about all this all the time, what would it be like? And I would say, it would be like living in a graveyard where you're just surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of people suffering. That's what it's kind of would be like. And that's why I can't carry it with me.
Mike?
This one's a tough one for me because I was just at a memorial last night for a really old friend's partner had passed.
I'm sorry.
From a, many years of living with a traumatic brain injury. Mm. He, my friend, he's in, like, for the last few years, he's put himself in debt and had to live with someone who was, had a lot of problems. And they were they didn't have a court case. They didn't, there was no money. It was just a regular person who had a horrible thing happen and then had to deal with the outcome. Some of our clients would get lots of, the most recent one, they did very well. But that still doesn't, like you said, that doesn't change any of it. It still could end the same way that my friend's partner ended. Mm-hmm. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you can carry that. It's like people that are in the military or doctors, people that have to deal with that loss on a regular basis, but not only deal with it, also deal with the family and the aftermath. And you can't carry that stuff around. That's too heavy a weight. Attorneys would be falling. Like, people wouldn't be attorneys.
It's like my daughter, Noelle, she's in an emergency department. she's a charge nurse. Like if you watch The Pitch, she's, the charge nurse. And
I know them well.
there's not a day that goes by that someone doesn't die in their hospital. There's a 75-bed emergency department. And or something terrible happens, kids and everything. And she suffers, right? Obviously, she suffers trauma constantly. The difference is that it's a shorter period of time. For us, we spend sometimes years with people and they become very close to us, and we know all of their stuff. Like we know their medical, we know their employment, we've talked to all their friends and families. We've had, we just know so much about that family and the dynamics, and you care for them as individuals.
Well, and you're creating a narrative for your case as well, so you're becoming part of it.
True. And I feel like I walked on to court the other day. I showed Mo Christopher Kimes' plaque where he fell in Pioneer Square that had dust on it, and I moved it around. And I never met him, but I know him. I know the family members, they bring their lost person alive for us, and it's our job to show who that person was. And so anyway, it's a privilege to do what we do and to be given that access to people who maybe they're really private, maybe they're not really private, but I think one of the reasons for my success in terms of emotionally being able to do this job for so long is because my empathy has a gate and a lock associated with it.
Well, I think you have to have that to a certain extent if you're going to work in this field. And I know that some of us might not have that same ability.
Some of us may think that I'm cold and heartless, but
I've been called that myself a few times.
Yes, some of us also may need to be picked off the floor often because they are so wrapped up into their clients' distress.
Mo,
what do you think
have anything
about all
to say
this?
about that?
I think that I don't know. I mean, it's
Not that you would,
I think people are motivated to do what they want to do in life. I don't think anybody's got a gun to their head. Okay, like I could easily go open up a Moroccan restaurant.
Hey, why are you so why are you so defensive right now?
I'm not.
We were talking about you.
Well, I just said you are talking about me. It could be very easy for me to go open up a Moroccan restaurant and call it Mo's Moroccan Restaurant.
You could.
And I would run the front of the restaurant. I would have Moroccan margaritas, and I would have great mezes, mahamara, tzatziki, hummus, and baba ganoush, and kefta, and then I would have hookahs, and people would come gather. You would sit on the ground and have pillows and visit with each other. And the back of the house, I would run back, and I would run the back of the house and run out the food and live each day until the last day of my life, having created this environment. But I chose to do this, right? Right? But I chose to do this.
Wait, is this why you always are telling me you want to go to Tahiti and open up a bar on the beach?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, but I chose to do this, right? So, first of all, it's it's my personal responsibility for choosing this career, right? And what motivates you to choose a career, in part, is, your ego. You have to be, in part because you want to maybe try to do something, have some purpose, and then you got to make some money. This is the realities of life. So I think that the answer is a lot more complicated and multi-level than it is straightforward. Empathy is a part of it, Karen, but money is a part of it. Self-accolades are a part of it. I am good at what I do.
He's trying to turn away the attention from the fact that
I'm not deflecting.
Regularly, some people in the office have to literally be lifted up off the floor because they shouldn't have. I mean, they have exposed themselves to so much trauma, and also some people have experienced that trauma. So being exposed to it is even more resonating and more overwhelming. Yeah. But that's only some people. That's not us, obviously.
No, but this is the business we have chosen.
It's not.
This
yeah,
is
we're
the
not
business we have chosen.
This, but we're not talking about. You are trying to like switch over. We're
It's
just
not switch.
obviously we chose this business,
Okay,
right?
and yeah,
And
if
it's not a business; it's a mission.
It is a business that is mission focused.
It is mission focused.
But it's a business.
Yes, but business is not first. The mission is.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it is for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working. I didn't need to be in a business. I don't have to work. I am mission driven.
You know what? The public
First.
defender's office needs great trial lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Karen?
I thought it was
will
gonna be-
write a letter of recommendation for
I
you
thought it
right
was gonna
now.
be-
Karen, I'm going to write a letter of recommendation. And
You know
then
why?
you can go there. You don't
You know
need the
why?
business. You don't need the business.
I don't. You know why? No, because you know why?
Okay,
I thought I was
stop.
going to be a criminal lawyer, but you know why I didn't want to be? Because you have to you definitely have to devoid. I mean, not devoid. You have to actually reconcile in your own mind that you're going to represent someone who did it for the sole purpose of the mission, which is to protect the Constitution.
Okay.
I am not that person.
Legal?
I do not choose. I have the luxury and have for 15 years, maybe 20, to work for the people I want to work for. And that's why I am very, very privileged. I was able to create that world. I used to represent who.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You worked for insurance companies for a while. And did
Yes,
you?
I represented whoever I was told to represent or whoever could, and it was only in the last half of my career that I could as I got more successful where I say, yeah, I don't want. Even now, if somebody does something I don't like, we will they're rude to the paralegal. Mm-hmm. No.
Legal aid, housing advocacy, immigration law. There's a lot of places. No business, just mission. No business.
I like people that have been absolutely death and devastation. I'm not saying that there's no mission there.
Well, I'm saying there's an opportunity for you not to be in business and go do something that's just completely mission. There's no like business.
Yeah, but I like digging into it.
I think a lot of
complexity.
that's the thing. Everything that you get paid to do is business.
Yeah.
But I think that there's definitely different areas of law that take more dedication while you still make money, and in those cases have a chance to make a lot of money. I don't necessarily think that it's the same mission that, say, a corporate lawyer has, or an insurance lawyer has, or an environmental lawyer has.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bash any lawyers, but clearly.
And I'm not trying to bash them either.
No, you're not bashing lawyers.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Well, why did you leave your mission practice?
Complicated.
I know
reason.
why, and it was not complicated.
It was
not complicated.
It was multi-factor. It was personal.
Yeah, your wife told you.
No,
your wife told
because
you to go get it better.
I mean, I don't mind not sharing it.
No, it's none of our business.
No, I don't mind. No,
it's none of our business.
No, because you brought it up.
No, I want to win.
No.
I want to win this. So
my partner wanted to leave what she had been doing for years, supporting me, because I have been mission oriented since I came out of law school and worked for people who couldn't afford my time. And she said, it's not my turn. And I said, that's fair, because you've dedicated near 12, 14 years of your life doing something you don't even enjoy. And she wants to be a designer, an interior designer, and do housing flips and things like that. So that was one of the primary decisions I made to change my career. And it was hard. It was hard because I regretted a great deal leaving.
Financial.
Yeah, and it's financial.
It was financial.
But Mike, is it only financial in that situation?
It was financial.
Well, you didn't have necessarily the choice to stay with her because she was choosing to leave. So there was that side. But you moved on to a very lucrative practice.
Yeah.
So I have to say that I think money was a consideration. Not your first consideration, but money's always consideration in these situations.
How about
unless you're someone who doesn't care about money.
Oh, or it's because you just love the person you're with, and you want to make that you got to sacrifice sometimes so that they can pursue their dreams.
I mean, that's your partnership.
Yeah,
that's part of it too. But I think you were making the choice to move from a not as lucrative practice to a more lucrative practice.
And the first firms I started to talk to were the defense firms.
Because you didn't know any better.
And I was like,
And did they offer you a lot of money?
well, there was one that was interested and was good money, but what I dug in, I was like, there is no mission here.
Well, that's the thing.
There was like, where's the people? Where are the humans? And
What is the purpose?
yeah, what was the purpose? And I was like, I can't do this. There's no way. And I had to try to find a way to do a hybrid, and here I am.
Okay, I didn't even know we started talking about it at the beginning of this podcast, but there we end.
And it ends.